Hello there everyone, I am Pepino back playing more Kerbal Space Program. Sorry this episode is a bit delayed from part 1. I've actually had a bit of a case of tonsillitis. And let me tell you, it's not fun, it's awful. I still have it, it still hurts, but it is going away, and I'm on lots of medicine so it doesn't hurt. Quite as much at least. So that's good. So we're back to the Kerbal Space Program. And when we left last time, we had our little ship here with our little crew and space station and whatnot, leaving Kerbin there and heading out to Jool. And I'm warping at 3 times speed here. So hopefully we will reach Jool soon and get our encounter. And I'll bring you guys back when that happens, because it's probably going to take a while. Okay, so we should be getting fairly close. There it is. Now we just got to bring that down and get ready to kill our engines when we get our encounter. So, let's slow down our time warp just a bit. Our closest approach is getting ever closer, and any second now we'll have our encounter. I'm not using a maneuver node because I had one already, and I basically knew where I had to go. I just had to burn prograde. So there we go, there's our Jool encounter. Can we lower our periapsis a bit? Because that's always a good thing to do. So we'll do that for as long as... Oh, nope. Can't do it anymore. Okay. Well, that's not a bad Jool encounter, I don't think. So I think we are ready to warp over there. So we'll take a look at our guys as they say goodbye to Kerbin and the moon, which is over there, and Minmus, wherever the heck it's hiding right now. It's got to be out there somewhere. Maybe it's behind Kerbin or something. Oh well, they're saying goodbye and headed out into deep space to find Jool. Okay, so here we are coming in 20 days away. Oh, I guess we were not 20 days away, because we have just encountered it. And that's not actually a very good Jool encounter. I don't know why it changes like this sometimes, but like it's not the same necessarily as we set it up, but that's okay. Like it's not the same periapsis and stuff like that. But oh well, it'll be fine, I think. Hopefully. So, we will get pointed in the right direction, and we will zoom on up to our periapsis. Actually, maybe this is the same that we set it as, I'm not sure. Okay. So if we look, we'll see Jool somewhere. Maybe. Really, really distantly. So if the sun is there, I don't know. We'll find Jool. We'll get closer to it. Okay, so now we're going to start our next burn, and pretty soon we're going to be able to ditch that tank. This big one up here. But we gotta let it run out first. So, another long burn underway, which will be okay. And it will hopefully be enough to eventually slow us down. Our Jool escape is getting farther away. So as long as we don't run out of fuel before we complete orbit, we shouldn't run into any problems. Alright, just to make this a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer around some fuel. And by doing that, I'm going to refill these tanks, which are empty, and that's going to allow us to ditch all this extra mass that we don't need to carry around, and then we will be able to do this a lot easier and more fuel efficiently. So, gotta bring it all into here. The problem you gotta watch out for, though, is you have to make sure that you don't fill one of these 3 tanks unevenly with the others, because then your balance will be off and you'll go off in random directions, and that's no good for anybody. So, gotta make sure that we can fill it fully, which we will be able to. We have a little more fuel right in here, but we have not all that much fuel left, actually. I was hoping this would be more fuel efficient than it was, but that's okay. This was just a blind test run of a ship that I built in not that long. So, that's fine. And yeah, this was basically just getting me back into the swing of KSP, because, like I mentioned in the last video, I do want to start doing another KSP series, perhaps tutorials or something. It will be some tutorials for sure. So we'll use our RCS and just launch this off into space somewhere. Who really cares? Okay, so now we're back. Now we've got all of the fuel that we're going to have left, and this is our final ship. I don't think we're detaching anything else. So, now we can resume our burn once we get to the periapsis here. We'll warp up to that. Oh, alright, there we go. And now that should go a little bit better. And again, I'll bring you guys back once it's finished. Okay, well, our fuel is going down pretty quickly, and our orbit, not so much. So this is actually going to be like a race to the finish here. I'll use RCS even to help a little bit. But okay, it looks like we are going to get our encounter. Perfect. Now, in fact, can I do this with... No, stop that. Do this. There we go. Alright, so we've got our encounter. We're just using RCS now. Whoop. Forgot I was on the 3x time warp. You don't want to move too much with that. But it's okay. We got tons of RCS that we need to use up anyway. So I will use that for the remainder of this burn here, and then we'll have a tiny bit of fuel left to correct our orbit and do whatever we want. But we're not going to get to explore the Jool system too much. I will just try to get as close of a flyby for our station as I can, and then we'll bring the orbit. Yeah, we'll bring it down on this side as well. And all in all, I think the mission should be called a success. We set out to put a station around Jool, and we now have done that, if only by the skin of our teeth. This is why real scientists use math and stuff, instead of just like, oh hey, yeah, let's launch this into space and see if it works, because that gets expensive in the real world and in Kerbal Space Program, unless you're in sandbox mode, which I am. So, the only thing is, yeah, it takes so long to get anywhere around here. It's going to take 400 days to get down to our lowest point in our orbit. That's okay, though. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. How much RCS do we have left? Alright, we're using plenty of it. bring this down to maybe 100, and then we will warp up to it, and whoop, not physics warp. There we go. Turn off our RCS. Okay. Should we make it even lower? Honestly, we probably should, shouldn't we? Before we do this, let's get this down even farther. Let's get it to like 40. Is that a reasonable number? I want to be really close to Joule. And I don't know how close actually this is going to be. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm not remembering how close to Joule you should get to make it look big and cool and whatnot. We'll figure it out. There we go. Coming down slowly but surely. Is that gonna work? Hopefully. Alright. Let's see, where is Joule? The sun is there. Joule should be like up here somewhere. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. So I guess we will warp up a little bit until it comes into view. And there goes our other little piece flying off into space to sit forever and do nothing, basically. And in a mere 260 days, we will be down and close to Joule and see how we're doing. Alright, down to only about 50 days. So we should be able to see Joule fairly easily by now. And we'll let it warp until we're like right there. Okay. How close do we get? We should get closer. Which is fine. So, actually, to be fuel efficient about getting closer, I'm probably going to warp around to my apoapsis again. Unfortunately, that'll take a long time, but fortunately for you, you don't have to care about that because of editing. So watch this. Alright, so we are going to be much closer this time. That burn was all done with RCS. And now we are coming around again to take a look at Joule. So, we will slow ourselves down here. Get up. Whoa, no, I went past. Damn it. We may have to go around again. That's the annoying thing when you're warping so fast. It is very easy to swing very quickly around your periapsis without really being able to stop yourself if you're not paying absolute attention. And if you're like me and impatient and warping on speeds higher than you should. Okay, coming around again, even lower this time. I decided to lower down a little more just for the heck of it. So, we are a few hours away. Okay. Can't risk too much more warping. Let's see. There's Jool. Pretty big. Let's get down all the way to our periapsis in half an hour Kerbal time. We see the big green behemoth of a planet going by rather quickly, and our altitude is dropping, which is telling us that we are pretty darn close to periapsis. We are within all of the moons and all of that stuff, so we shouldn't have to worry about getting kicked out of orbit, because that's a big thing around Jool. You can set up an orbit that looks fine, and then little do you know, in a few revolutions you'll have an encounter with a moon, and that'll kick you out of Jool orbit or mess everything up. So we look to have avoided that, and now we can turn on our RCS, warp just a little bit until we're right up at periapsis. And then we're going to start bringing this in. Whoops. There we go. We'll use a lot of our RCS here. And in fact, we should probably just turn to face retrograde, because we'll probably want to use our fuel anyway. These guys aren't making a return trip with this fuel, so there's no point in saving it. If they do want to come home, they're gonna have to get a refueling mission sent out here. So we won't worry about that for now. Our end goal of this is to just get the station in a nice, comfortable orbit, to do lots of scientific experiments and such around Jool. You know, whatever it is that Kerbals do once they're in space. Bob, Sambro, and Sambri all look pretty happy. Jebediah is just bouncing around with excitement, as is Nelball and Enbus. They have arrived. They are actually making their final burn after 8+ years in that one little seat. So yeah, if there's ever a human mission to go to Jupiter and live in a space station, count me out. That's a bit of a long time to be sitting in one little chair. But you know what, it's fine. And granted, we could have cut the time down quite a bit if I was good at this. But, you know, I'm not, so we had to go around multiple times, and probably took a pretty inefficient path to get here, and got a pretty bad encounter. But, you know, that's fine. All of that stuff we can live with. Okay, so I'm gonna throttle up just a bit, and that'll start getting our fuel used up. We'll save a bit of monopropellant in case we need to dock to something. Okay, so how low do we want to bring this? Pretty low, I'd say. If we could have our whole orbit within Lath's like orbit, that would be nice. So I think we're gonna be able to accomplish that with what we have left. our fuel is just about going to be used up. So we will let that happen, and then we'll do the rest with our RCS. Okay, any moment now. There it goes. There's the rest of our fuel gone. And now we will just do this. RCS our way down in our orbit. Alright, so all in all, I'd say it's a pretty cool view. You can see a couple of the moons. Got a nice little view of the purple aurora, or northern lights, on Jool, which is a nice little touch. And I don't know that we're going to actually have as much RCS as I thought, looking at this now. So, maybe we should be happy with the orbit that we've got, although it's a bit weird. It shouldn't hit any moons, though, and that's the biggest thing, really. So we've got a little RCS left, just in case we need to dock something. We will warp around until it's a bit lighter out. Oh, not physics warp. There we go. There. And now, the final step is going to be to extend all these panels and get the station fully operational. We will get our Kerbals out. Nullball, come on out. Take a look at the wonders of the great green giant Jool. And have some fun, stretch out your legs, all that stuff. I know it's been a bit cramped for the past 8+ years, but it'll be fine. Check on the station, how's it looking, everything look good? Okay, cool. Watch the solar panels, and let's find the door and get you in there. Where it is, right there. Okay. Boom. Grabbed on and boarded. Let's see. We can fit one more Kerbal up there, and Jeb will have to stay down in here in his command seat, but that's fine. I'm sure they can rotate around and stuff if he gets sick of it. Jeb's not a complainer. Jeb's just happy to be in space. Okay. There we go. Oh, wait, it's full? Oh, I must have one more Kerbal on board than I thought. Well, that's fine. So I just can't math. Alright, well, back in you go. Sorry, bud. You're stuck in here. Come on. Boom, okay. So now if we take a look in the cockpit, we do indeed have a full crew. That's Bob, I think, not Jeb. And how's the view out the window? We'll time warp up a bit and see if we get a cool view. But that is that. That is our Jool Station, and this is our brave crew of Kerbals who will be working at it. So, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this mission. And again, it was just a small, quick, or it was supposed to be just a small, quick test mission. And the point was mostly just to let you guys know I am going to be doing more Kerbal Space Program. Probably not going to record a whole lot until my throat is better, but hopefully that'll be very soon. So, thank you guys for watching. Leave me suggestions for what you would want to see the Kerbals do, and things like that. And if I can, I will make that happen. So, thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.